Hey everybody, welcome to Society Scoop, the podcast where we get into the real stuff, the kind of topics and the conversation you would have at 2 a.m. and you get to listen to us talking. And just see this as a space where we get to hear stories, where people treat this as a safe space. And we also look forward that to those of you, because we as humans is not really about we face things alone, but we should also remember that there are also people like us out there and they face similar situations, and maybe what they have gone through would also be relevant, and maybe how they have overcome would be a guidance. So this is why Society Scoop is out here. It's not really just we want to scoop only the celebrities' insights, but we want to hear stories from real people, real ordinary people just like you and me. So hopefully a lot more people are listening in, and you also get to share with the rest of your friends. I'm Kavita, and today's guest is someone who have reached out, and honestly, I think from her response in the Google form, actually, I thought that this is something that many people would shy from admitting, and they wouldn't really want to share. And I'm really glad that she have brought up this particular topic, and we're going to talk about grief. It may be hard to explain, and being the person where everyone leans on, and somewhat you would think that have nobody really showed up for it. So this the kind of question that would pop up, and let's hear from our guest today. So we have Naj for today's episode. Hi Naj, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, Kavita. Nice meeting you. So happy to see you actually.
Yes. I'm so glad I get to connect with you. Let's share a bit about yourself. So tell us, what do you do?
Okay, sure. So I'm a recreation manager in a hotel in Terengganu, and previously, I was actually not in the hotel line. I was more into marine conservation. I was a marine biologist, but then transitioned into hotel line because of COVID.
Right.
At the time, I was still a marine biologist, just being based in a resort. And then eventually, I sort of fell in love with ecotourism. So at the same time, although you are engaging your guests and, sharing doing activities with your guests, but at the same time, you get to advocate and also educate your guests about what's happening on the other side of the world. It's not just about big cities and concrete jungles, but we also have the rainforest and the ocean. So that's pretty fun to do. And I just decided maybe this is my career path, so here I am today.
That's amazing. And actually, when I got to know that you're a marine biologist and you got into this hospitality line, and do you think that your work and passion somehow has merged?
Yeah,
do you share what you're doing?
I do, because although it's you have to deal with, sometimes you get difficult customers and whatnot, but it's always fun to engage with the good ones. You get more good ones than the bad ones, so it outweighs the whole situation as well. And then at the same time, being in a resort and also in a remote island, what's fun about it is that after work, I just get to go into the ocean. So it's like the best of both worlds. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And also, just before we get into the topic, so how well do you think Malaysians take care of our environment or the places that they visit?
I would say, so far, being in the East Coast and, just being in this industry, I would say we are well aware about what's happening. And I think with our people in our age gap as well, we are more aware that something is happening to the ocean, something's happening to the ecosystem, and we are doing something with it. You get a lot of local communities trying to do recycling, and then trying to be a bit more sustainable with how they live. You do see it. It's just that, of course, it's not some people will just post things up. If you see in the Western country, they will post a lot of things. But in Malaysia, we're just more into just doing it locally, and just, if you hear about us, you can also connect with us. If you don't, it's fine. If you're doing it on your own, it's completely fine. I mean, for me as well, I do it on my own with my husband, and we don't share it out there. But if our friends come over to our house, or we hang out with people who have the same interests like us, we would just do it with each other. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Naj. And I was also telling to Naj earlier that I will look forward to talk more about conservation topic because I think that this has some, but I think this will become in handy in years to come, and many people would have to adapt it in days to come. And Naj, let's get into this story that you like to share with the rest of us. And I would like to understand at which point of your life that you actually realized that you are going through this difficult time and the kind of emotion or the kind of I would say like a phase, or it could be like a situation that you go through that it may be hard to explain at that point of time, and maybe now that you have understood it. And so tell me how that journey has been like, how it has started and how it has been like so far.
Oof, okay. So this is like something that has been, I mean, it's like a reoccurring thing for me where it started like way back. So I'll go back to the past.
Please, please.
This was about like 11 years ago. I lost someone very special to me to suicide. And it's not an easy thing to share with people because a lot of times, even until today, some people just don't understand, like, why are you still grieving? Why does it affect you so much? And I said to them, like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but
Yeah.
you feel it because how do you go about with like someone, that person has always been there with you like the whole time in like half of your life, and then the next thing you know they're not there, and it's not like a natural thing that happened. It's like it's something it just happened, and you didn't know that they needed help. You didn't know that they were going through things. And at the time I was also like still young. I was about 20 years old.
Right.
And both of us, we were just catching up with life. We had plans, we had bucket lists to check the off, all those things. And then suddenly like your world just fall apart and you're just like, what the heck just happened? And it's like, so do I go, do I still go on with my life, or do I step back and rethink and redo my life? Like, well, what do I do? Like, you have so many questions, like, why did they leave? Why didn't they say anything? And then part of it, like, throughout that time, I put so much blame on myself, where I just feel like I could have done more as a best friend.
Right.
I could have just, drop everything and see this person and, say, hey, I'm here. And then, like, it also affected our family in a way, but I think mostly, of course, it affected their family the most. And I know that even until today, it still affects them. But what I love about, as we moved on with our life and everything, because of what happened, my family and then his family as well, we are more aware that, mental health is important to us. Like, if you're going through something, and you don't know how to tell it, it's like my parents are more open about it.
Right.
We can have conversations about it, and they're like, okay, what can we do? But there were also times like, when you're going through it, even though like at the time it felt so big, and from like the people around you, it's so little, but it's so big for you, and they're like, it's just a small matter, Radzwan, like, just leave it alone. And I said, I can't leave it alone because I'm feeling it, and I want you to just listen. And it's just like, how is it that you're going through something and you wanted someone to listen, so I'm there, but now I'm going through it. You just shrug it off. So it's just I don't know how to explain it, but it's just a very confusing feeling. And then sometimes you have this anger in you, but you're just like, maybe this is who they are. Like, sometimes I just had to disregard that. So that's a bit about like in the past. And then recently, I had another situation that happened. It was a tough time. I left my job, and then I got a better offer elsewhere for a month, and then I'm back again here. Although it was a very, when I look back at it, all those recently, it's like a very short period of time. But it was a lot for that short period of time. It was like you're going through it, like you're transitioning from one state to another state. You're moving out by yourself. And then yes, I have friends when I was moving to another state, but I just felt so alone and I just felt so helpless with the situation that I was going through. And then I spoke to my husband because, we both are doing long distance right now because of work.
Right.
And he was there. He was just, being supportive. He said, hey, you got this. You've been through it. And I know you got this. I'm going to be there with you in every stages. Whatever you need, I'm here. And I know he felt bad that I was struggling alone and he wished he could come and see me. But because of work, it just didn't happen. But he was there. It's just that I was calling my parents. I had this one conversation with my dad. I just called him to ask him how he's doing. And I don't know, it's until today, I was really heartbroken by what he said. And I was telling it to my husband too. And, we were just talking over the phone. I was saying, I'm going through this. And I just hope that you're here as a dad, as my father. And then, I don't know why it affected me today. I feel like crying right now.
Correct.
He just said to me, I wish I could help you, but you have a husband. It's his duty now to look after you, not me. So I was like, wow. It was I was very affected by it. And I just said to him, yeah, I understand. I'm not here to ask you for help. I just needed someone because he's my best friend. He still is my best friend. So, to hear that from someone who's very close to you, it's heartbreaking. So I was like, okay. And then we ended the conversation. He just shrugged it off and he said, I've got things to do. I'll talk to you later. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Right.
But that was heartbreaking. So I think like now, I still felt it sometimes. Like, we're still in good relationship. I've always had a good relationship with my father. But it just felt different.
Yeah.
It just come to a point like we just had a phone call last night as well. I still talk to him normally and whatnot, but it just feels different. It doesn't feel like I could go to him anymore.
Understand that. I hear you. And, the grief that you're processing, I would say there are like two different types. One, I think one of the grief that most people would say when you're mourning for someone, when you're grieving for someone, usually when that person is no longer on this face of earth, that person is no longer there physically. But that doesn't mean that the times, the days that you have spent, the goals, the dreams you have shared with this person is no longer valid. Because I believe that energy will never be fully destroyed. It will be carried on in some form. And that's how the times that we have spent with them, and we will carry them in our hearts forever because they're never really gone to us. So that is one part where, physically they are not there, and we carry them through our memories, through the way we speak, through the kind of ideologies we have with other people, because they have shaped us in some way. And definitely that's not an easy loss for us to handle. And there's another part to grieving as well, where I think that is even more painful for you to handle. For you grieving over a person who is still alive. So you see them and you handle conversations like, like usual, like you want to go through things like it's happening and I talk to you like normal, but the kind of things that they say and it kind of disconnect you and it make you question. So is my existence no longer appreciated by them? So the kind of people that we look up to, especially our parents, and or maybe I can't really quite tell. Is it because of an Asian mentality where once they marry off a daughter, that's always a responsibility of a husband? Why does that thought has to come? A parent will always be a parent until the end. So a parent, or parents, they should see them that, the kids are not choosing to be born. Okay, they were choosing to have kids. So that responsibility, it goes until the end. So the kind of words that they choose, and for them, maybe they feel that, okay, so our children, they are old enough, so it's okay for me to say these things. But actually, no, because deep down, that little child in us, it gets hurt because we want to always have this, we always see them as a safety net. And when that safety net say that, oh, you know what, you can no longer depend on me. I'm just, you can depend on something else. So it hurts. It hurts quite a lot. Not oh my God. And I respect you because you also handle the conversation like normal with your dad. And have you ever thought of addressing this to your dad? Or do you think that it's not needed? Or do you think that the conversation would not be easy to have? Or maybe will not be in the right mind to accept it?
I've thought about it. I did had a chat with my husband about it. Like the moment it was said, like, oh, okay, let me just talk to my husband. And then, he did ask me something similar. He said, do you feel like it's okay for you to just, when the time is right, talk to him about it rather than you continuously feel like you're not important in his life?
Yeah.
And I said to him, like, I thought about it, but then I realized, he would probably just disregard it. And then I would feel more worse about like, it's just for him, it would probably just be like, it's just a conversation. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but it is what it is. And for me, I was telling my husband, I said, maybe I'll talk to mom about it. So I told my mom about it. I said, hey, mom. So I had a conversation with dad recently, and then this is what he said to me. And my mom was very shocked. She was like, why would dad say that to you? And I said, I don't know. I just, I'm going through stuff. You know about it. I think you were, my mom at the time, like, I'm not always close to my mom. We always had issues with each other.
Okay.
So, but like recently when I was going through it, she was very supportive. She was like, it's okay. I get it. Like, you're going through it. Just go through it. And eventually one day you will look back and you will come to realize that, hey, I've been through that situation and now I've grown and matured out of it. I'm going to be fine. So she was very positive, and she was just encouraging me not to quit. She said, you've been elsewhere. It's not the first time you move to a new state. It's not the first time you are living alone, and it's not the first time you travel on your own and all those things. And she said, you're gonna be fine. And she said she gets it. Like, it's, and at the time it's like transitioning to Ramadan. I was alone, and then we had some family matters as well that we had to deal with, and especially with her.
Yeah.
She's going through it as well because she had me at home for about a couple of weeks, and then I've just been there with her, so she felt it too. But she was more also like she gets it. She said, I understand you're not asking for my help. You just want me to listen to you, and I'm here for you. And then my mom said to me, maybe your dad is also going through something that we don't know of. And then I said, I understand. And I said to her, I know that he's going through some stuff as well. But then, we at home, like us being at home, are like, when we talk to him, we are more, we're more careful with our words. We don't try to make him feel like we're not there for him as a family.
Right.
So, so I said to my mom, I really want to tell him this. Like, it's not right for you to say these things to me. And my mom said, you can say it, but the outcome is not going to be great for you. And I said, I know. So at the end of the day, I just decided, like, I'm not going to pursue it. I will do my best to heal myself and be a child to him. Like, at the end of the day, I'm his daughter, and I will always love him as a parent.
Yeah.
And it's just, for some reason, after that, I just put boundaries to myself. And it's not just with him, it's with everyone. Like, I wouldn't say building up walls, but just putting this little boundary for me where if you're going through it, if you're going through something, I will be there for you as a friend, as a coworker, or as a family, but I wouldn't want to absorb it to myself. Like, whatever you're feeling, it's legit. It's, you're human to feel certain things.
Yeah.
But um, as much as I want to go through the length for you, the distance for you, I think I need to protect my heart. So yeah.
Wow, look at how much it has shifted you in how you also would be conversing with other people. And you're in a stage where you are also evolving to another personality nudge. Do you actually notice that? Do you notice the changes that
I
you've made to
do.
yourself?
I
Right.
do.
Right.
Yeah. Even like it's within a month plus. I don't know. I think because it's like, why do I have to, compensate to you? But when it comes to me, why can't you have that empathy with me? Why can't you be kind? I'm there for you. And,
Yeah.
my husband was like telling me, you can't expect everyone to be the same as you. I said, no, I'm not expecting that. But maybe at the time, just listen and just, like, just just be empathetic about it, like I'm not asking you to, oh my God, I feel sorry for you. And no, it's just to be kind. Yeah.
Yeah. Be kind. That's right. That's right. I see that your husband has been a great anchor through all of this.
He's wonderful. He's also a marine biologist.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
nice. Hello.
He's a very bubbly guy. I think you'll like him if you meet him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. And you know what? And it's actually I get really happy seeing let's say a couple or married couple when they are there for each other. They are each other's anchor. So
Thank you.
meeting the right person like that, I think that is lovely. And also when it comes to while you're processing through all of this, and your husband might also be going through all of this, does he
Yeah.
also share with you?
He does.
Yes.
It's just with him. He's not like me where if I'm going through it, I'll be like, hey, I'm going through it. Like I'll tell him about it.
Okay.
With him, he will take time, and then at the time that he's going through something, he'll keep quiet. But he'll
Okay.
so normal, like you wouldn't even know that he's going through it.
Okay.
And a week later, he's like, that conversation we had? And I'm like, yeah. I have to tell you something about it. And I said, what is it? And then he's like, do you remember you said this to me? I said, no. What did I say? And then you're just so, I felt it. And I just want you to know. I'm like, a week later. And then he's like, yeah, a week later, I'm so sorry I'm telling you now. I hope I don't offend you. I said, no, you didn't offend me, but you should have told me at the time. And then he just said, I just didn't know how to process my thoughts. And I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Okay. At
Yeah.
least, I like that both of you communicate, and the way he processed things is a little bit different. He just needed
Yeah.
to process, and then he
Yeah.
was processing. Do I really? Is this really something wrong? Is this something right?
Yeah.
So I think his thought process is a bit different. But yeah, I'm good. At least you have someone as an anchoring though nudge. But through all these things, so when you're going through something that's extremely heavy, and then let's say the people who supported you through all these days, and then they aren't showing up to you like before. So how does it feel like in your body? Can you please share what you've actually noticed, the kind of change that actually went through your body or through your mind? Could you please share that part of it?
Oh, wow. I can tell you throughout this last 10 years,
Okay.
I see so many changes in myself, like my mentally or like physically. Physically was the most that you can see. Like I gained so much weight. Last year a lot of things happened. I'm a very open person, so I'll share it with you anyways. I had 3 miscarriage last year.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Nat. Sorry to hear that.
No problem.
Okay.
I've processed it and everything, so it's okay. Maybe it's not time yet. That's what I tell myself. Maybe he wants me to focus on something else. Like God wants me to do something else. So it came along with like work stress, and then grieving about certain things, and things that were stayed behind my back, and things that were stayed and done to me in work and also personal life. And the thing that is most intense that I saw a change in me was my weight. it was the heaviest I was. I was 125 kg. And I was like, how did I let myself go this far?
Yeah.
And it's not even like I was overeating or anything. I think it was more on like the change in my sleep as well. Like I wasn't sleeping. I was sleeping at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then I'll wake up at 6. And then, those things change. And then also like living with endo mattresses as well. So you have to look after yourself. If you don't, then you'll see all these weight changes.
Correct.
The way you look at yourself, it's so different. It's to a point I didn't even look after myself. Because like for me, knowing me, I love makeup. I love going to Pilates. I love doing yoga. I was a very active person. So when that happened, and then I saw it in November last year, like someone in my girlfriends were like, "What happened to you?" And I was just like, "Oh my God!" And then we took pictures because I didn't want to take pictures with anybody. Like I don't want to be in photos.
Right.
And that one particular photo with my girlfriends, I was just like, wait, that's not me. I was just like, what is going on? And then I was just lucky that I had friends who's also she's a psychologist, and then I had nutritionist friends and whatnot, and then they're like, are you going through some stuff that we should know about? Like, because we're here for you. We've been friends forever, so you shouldn't be ashamed to like share with us, because what are the things that we do not share with each other in the last 15, 20 years that we're friends? And it's to the point one of my girlfriends said, I've seen you naked, girl. So what more do you need? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's when, sometimes they say your friends are your mirror, especially the really good ones with you.
Yeah.
And that's when my mirrors were talking to me. They said, you need to do something about it. And that's when I realized, okay, I need to do something about it. So I started focusing back into like small things, small changes. Like I used to journal a lot. I used to enjoy going for walks and everything. So I slowly did that. Slowly, transitioning to be slightly better. But the changes is like the weight gain, and then mentally as well. Like usually before this, especially at work, if someone says something that hurt my feeling, I will digest it for a bit, but I wouldn't even take it by heart. I would just say, you know what, that's how you feel. Go ahead. I'm okay with it. But then like last year, the tiniest thing affected me for weeks that I was overthinking it. I didn't sleep. And it's to a point I even questioned myself when I was doing my work. And I remember one time I spoke to my boss, and he was asking me, are you okay? And I said, I'm not okay. And then they said, what's going on? And this was the term that he said to me, which I didn't like, and I still remember it until today.
Okay.
Why do you want to be liked by people?
Right.
And I said, why not? And then he said, well, it's okay to be liked, but at the same time, sometimes being liked doesn't mean you get the work done. But if you are kind to your team members, things can be done. Sometimes being liked means they just want to take advantage of you. And I was just like, but I don't want to be liked, but it is affecting me. And then he just said this to me, people talk about me a lot. And I said, I know. And it's still point he did get some compliance happen to him as well. Reported him for, saying like some stuff were reporting him about like, oh, he's not being fair to this department, but he's being fair to other department and those things. And then he said to me, if I were to take every single thing to heart, I wouldn't be where I am today. And then he said, look at you. You wouldn't be where you are today if you didn't get things done. There's a reason why I put you in a certain position. There's a reason why you got promoted. Because you get things done. And it's not because I like you, because I know you can do it.
Right.
So at the time I was also like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, feel too much, And then he said this to me, it's okay to feel it. You're human. There is something wrong with you if you don't feel it. I was like, okay. But he just said don't dwell into it too much, because he said if you're dwelling into it too much, you're not gonna live your life. And he said it's okay to grieve about some people leaving. I get it. When you're at work, you're comfortable with these people and that people. It's easy to get things done, and then eventually people leave for a better position or better opportunities. It affects you. And he said he gets it. And he said sometimes he felt it when a team member left a company, because he knows that person can do it. And he said it's okay to grieve people leaving. And, it's okay to grieve if people say something about you. But he said this to me, and it sticks with me until today when it comes to work. Don't dwell into it too much.
Right.
Don't. Yeah.
Right. I think that piece of advice he shared, it's not easy for us. It's, they always say it's always easy to be said than done. And for us to process it, you have to come to that, but you have to go through it somehow for you to actually reach, oh, okay, so this is what it means for us to be like this.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not easy, because when you're struggling, there's a lot of things from what your heart is saying to you, what your mind is telling you.
Yeah.
And then what does the entire system, this body is doing things to you. Sometimes your guts would get affected when you're going through something.
Yeah.
So, and all of this, going through all of this, and then you have to somewhat try to have everything aligned. You tell yourself, okay, let's collect yourself together now, hold yourself together now. We have a lot more days to face and go ahead. And he has shared, I think that there are some points there. The longer we get into this loop, it's going to be very difficult for us to get out. And it's about, and also how are we willing to get ourselves helped? If we allow ourselves to get help, then I think there are more possibility for us to get out of this cycle. And also, I see how you have been handling this, Naj, and it's definitely not easy for you to go through this. And also, how is the community over there? Because since you're away from home, and now that your husband is working somewhere else as well, so how do you know that you're picking the right person to talk to, or the right people to surround you? How do you do that?
I think it comes to who you interact with.
Okay.
I think like being in this industry, some friends are not really your friends. I think being at work, not everyone will eventually be a companion to you.
Yeah.
And for me, I do my best. Like when I know that, sometimes you just get the vibe from people. So if I don't get a good vibe from you, I do my best to just keep it minimal. And because I've been on the island for a while, I've had friends in the local community and whatnot. So after work, usually, what I do is that I do my best not to linger around with the team from my department, because I see you the whole day about work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe it's time for me to hang out with other people from other departments.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I do. So because I've been here for a while, and then instead of just being co-workers at work, some people become your friends. Some people eventually become like family, because you're in a remote island, so you only have each other. So you have to pick the right circle of friends.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can be a hermit, so I'll be alone. But for some good reason, I make friends with a lot of like the people from the diving community. Because you're aligned, like, like, oh, I want to go and see this thing, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then for some reason, we just vibe. So when the season is open, what I do is that I'll just go and hang out with the diving community. Because, work can only be too stressed. And then you just need someone to just chill with. So and then sometimes people outside of work are more kind to you. And people outside of like your department, although like, they don't see what's happening in that 9 hours operation time, but then they see you at the end of the day, or they bump into you during break time or whatever. They just say, how's your day? A simple how's your day can make your day turn into a better day. That's what I always say to myself. So it got better. So, I would say just finding the right people to talk to, because, everyone is going through different things. So I always keep in mind, like, um, if they struggle on certain things at work, although I don't understand it, but just be there, they're sharing with you something. So even if you don't have the solution, you just listen.
Listen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Just listen.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree with you on that, Nach. And also, actually, there are also people, they are not good listeners. Sometimes they talk and they want others to listen to them, but they can't be good listeners. And I think these social skills are actually very vital for you to actually be in a society, in a community. And I think everyone, if they want to be a good human being, and they should understand it works two ways. And also, you are also right by you spotting whether you can vibe with this person or not, whether you get a good gut feeling with this person or not. I think somehow yourself will be able to tell you with all these signals that you're getting, and by you deciding whether this is the right people that we mix with. Sometimes we have to spend a long more days, and sometimes we have to go through horrific events to realize, oh, this is not the right group of people that I should be surrounding myself with. But sometimes we are lucky enough to get those signs at the earliest stage, so we don't go through that hassle or losing a lot of energy through that. Let me backtrack a bit to the part where you have lost your best friend, Naj.
Mhm.
So when you actually deal with that, someone you've been extremely close to and losing that, and I'm sure you have also have seen quite a lot of losses after people passing away. It could be a relative, could be another friend. And how from that impact, because that was a very heavy impact, because that person chooses to end their life. It's like,
Yeah.
and some people, they're passing away because of natural death, and someone choosing, I want to end my life. That would be extremely heavy for someone to process, and especially for a friend to process. So after experiencing that, how you have been seeing or experiencing people who have passed on, has it changed your perception over it, or how it has shaped you in terms of accepting the losses?
For me, it's like I get weird around that. Like when someone like just today we found out like one of our ex coworker in the previous property I was working with, he passed away in the office. Sudden death. Yeah, that was
Right.
so shocking. And the fact that we know that he's a very healthy person,
Right.
and he passed away in the morning in the office as he gets into work. So I was like, I just get very weird about it, and like I feel sad. Like I was like, oh, he's not here with us anymore. It feels I know this person. So it's just like I felt it, but then it's just this weird feeling in my gut. It's just like, what is going on? Like, why is this person not here anymore? And it's the same when like 2 years back, my grandmother passed away. Everyone else was crying, and I was helping my mom as well to do the washing for her body and whatnot, because my mom was doing it.
Yeah.
I saw my aunties, my cousins, they were all crying, and then I didn't cry. At the time I didn't cry. I looked at her. Her body was right in front of us, and it's not to say that I don't have any feelings, but I just feel weird around it.
Right.
Then when we reached to the graveyard, and when they put her in, and then I was still like, everybody else was just bawling their eyes out. And then the moment they sort of put all the soil on top, and then after the whole, everyone was reciting the surah and everything, and as we were about to leave, that's when I bawled my eyes out. I just cried, and my dad was shocked. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I don't know." And then I asked my dad one thing: is she gonna be okay? And I don't have an answer to that question. But what you can do is you just pray for her. And I said, I know, but will she be okay? And that question always linger in my mind. Like, if someone passed away, especially like someone that I know, it's always like, are they gonna be okay? Like, what's next for them? Of course, we don't have an answer to that, but it's just, it's like, how is it that this person has been around and you know that they're always around and suddenly they're just not there? Like, there's just like put it like a stopper, that's it, and nothing. And even if you remove the stopper, it's not there. So, I just, like, now, like, just like I said, death is just, I just feel weird around it. And when I go to funerals or like I have to go for tahlil, for the these thing, I can still see people are sad and, people are still grieving when they talk about the person. They cry, they tear up. Of course. I felt it too, but then I just feel like, is this it? Like, is this our life? And then, I will never, I don't know, like, I just wouldn't process my feelings at the time. I will process it later on. And I think with my late best friend, I was grieving so much about it. And even, when I met my husband, when we first started dating, I was very close out to myself. And he's such a lovely guy. Like, he really made an effort. And then initially I didn't tell him about it until one day I just said to him, hey, I know you really tried to really wow me. You really like me. I like you too. But there's something in my heart that is so heavy. I don't know how to explain to you. I don't know if you can accept it, but I don't think I'll be able to love you like how I've loved someone before. And he said, is this person still around? And I said, he's not around anymore. He's not someone special to me in terms of love, but we're very good friends, like we've been there for each other for a while and whatnot. And I said, he left. And then, so for him, I was very surprised when he said, I know I will never be first in your heart, but I want to be there. And I know that you can't love me like how you love this person, but I want you to fill up your heart for me. And he said, it's okay if I come second. I don't mind not being first as long as I'm in your heart. And for me, that was very special of him to say that. He was very accepting of it because, when you tell people, like some people, when you tell them, this is what I went through with this situation, someone that is close to me passed on. A lot of time people were just like, okay, and I was just like, with him, of all the guys that I dated before, they'll be you get over it. Guys will be dismissive about it. But then my husband, I think that's why he's my husband. So, he's like, he was just very kind about it. And then I said to him, I said, it's going to be hard for you because there will be days where I will feel so much that I don't even want to talk to you, because I do feel it sometimes when it has nothing to do with my friend passing on, but because sometimes that feeling just came.
It'll just come in.
It will just come
hit you.
And my husband would just go about his day having the greatest time of his life for that day. And there I am in my little bubble, and I'll just look at him and then I'll start crying. And then he said, and he, instead of like telling me to, just shrug it off, he just said, what do you need to make me feel better?
Okay.
And I just said, I just want to be alone. And he said, okay, I'll give you your time alone. And when you are ready to talk about it, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, like, coming back to the question you asked about, about this, that do feel weird to me, but it will always feel heavy on my shoulders. Like, it will just always, like, put me down.
Yeah.
And I would just, well, I wouldn't even know how to explain to people when they said, oh, did you know this person just passed on? And I was just like, I wouldn't have anything to say. And I'll just, oh, condolences to his family or just their family and this person and that person. And I was just not know how to react. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Agree. It's a mark that sometimes you just leave it as it is. We don't have to we don't have to make so much change to that notch. I think because that the way how your definition in terms of experiencing that, it's very different. It's very unique on its own. And it doesn't have to be the same how the rest are processing. Some people, they wouldn't understand. Oh, it's okay, you can get over it. No, it's not as easy as that.
No.
Because not everyone would take things lightly. Or probably those people say that, oh, get over it. Just maybe you don't appreciate life as much as the other person did. And how much they have appreciated this soul while they were on earth. And it's okay for you to, if it's going to take a long time for you to process it, that is fine. That is okay. And even if other people not going to understand it, that is also fine. And also sharing about your husband, he's such a gem of a person. Oh my God. And I'm so happy for both of you for finding each other. And I see that both of you are each other's rock and strength of each other's strength. That is lovely. I'm really happy for both of you. And also in terms of, when you were sharing about the story, Jill, when your grandma passed away. So that part, I think that stage you were in a situation like, okay, I have a risk, but I have a duty to do, so let me do it. So your body somehow like collected itself, and then when you finally completed that duty and you're walking away from the grave, so that's when it hit you, because this grave, it hits you at a point that you can never tell when and where. It will just come, it will hit you. Yeah, it's about how you're going to take it and process it, and you should let it flow and take it easy on yourself. And also talking about your friend, and have you noticed a certain pattern? Was he being extremely happy towards the last day of his life, or what was the pattern that you noticed? Or where many people say, those who people that I've read in some article, where these people, they are very good at hiding stuff. You wouldn't know that they're going through something.
Yeah.
And even until that day, that it could be like they'll be extremely happy from the morning, and then suddenly then they'll just take this decision to just end their life. And you can never understand that. I thought you were okay, and you said everything was okay, and you were extremely happy. So did you see the similar pattern in your friend?
There were patterns in the years that when he was around, where, sometimes he would just like come over to my house. So
Okay.
like our friendship is the type that he knows that I'm not home, but he'll just say, hey, is anybody home? And I'm like, hey, mom's home, can come over. And we'll just come over. And yeah. And then the same for me as well. Like, so there were times where, sometimes he'll just like, at midnight, he'll just like, can I come over and have coffee at your place? I say, yeah, come on over. And then we'll come over, we'll have coffee, have our chat. And then he would just like tell me, I'm feeling this way and whatnot. And I said, okay, what can I do to make you feel better? And he said, no, I just want you to just be there next to me.
Okay.
And I said, okay. And then there were times where he informed me, he said, today I felt like I want to die. And I said to him, please don't. And then there were once when he said that. Now that I think about it, I think it was a little bit selfish of me too. And I said this to him: if you leave, what's going to happen to me? Do you not care about me? And it sounded so selfish for me to say that. And he's like, I'm not going to go because I care about you.
Okay.
So, when I think about it, sometimes I just thought to myself, that sounded selfish of you, and also sometimes I also think, but then again, like, why why would you want your friend to go, or like why would you want someone that you care about to leave?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So towards the days before he left, so he was studying abroad. He was in New Zealand at the time, and then
Okay.
he came back for summer break.
Okay.
And then we met up the first, so the day that he came home, I was the one to pick him up, and
Okay.
he was very happy. He was so excited to see me. I knew at the time that he was broken up with his girlfriend. He told me about it and such. And then, but he was like, it's okay, it's summer break. I'm just looking forward to hang out with you, to be honest. And I'm like, okay, cool. And at the time I was studying in Penang. So we came back for a week. I was on semester break for a week. And we hang out throughout that week. And then I was heading back to Penang, and he said, hey, I'm going to come over for the weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend that the whole thing happened. I'm coming over the weekend. I spend time at Hard Rock so we can, just chill. And I'm like, okay, sure. So that entire week was weird for me and him. I tried to call him, no answer. I texted him, and it was like, I'm going fishing with my family. I said, okay, cool. I'll see you this weekend. And he said, yeah, I'll definitely see you this weekend. We were just looking forward to the weekend.
Right.
And then come midweek, I remember my dad called me and he said, hey, I just saw your friend at the mall. And I said, oh, how is he? But he saw me. He said, hi. He gave me a hug and everything. I'm like, okay. And then he said, I think you should check on him. I said, okay, sure, I'll give him a call. I just texted him yesterday. And he said, my dad said, just give him a call again. Call him, no answer. The call is always diverted to a voicemail.
Right.
But that was weird. But he was still responding to my messages. He was still like, yeah, I'm good. Like, and then he just asked, and then he just told me, like, when are you coming back to KL? And I said, you're coming down to Penang, so the weekend is coming up anyway. And he said, yeah, I know, but I just hope that you'll be in KL. I said, okay, cool. And then come that Saturday. So the Friday night, I went and hang out with my friends. I told him, I said, hey, I'm hanging out in Penang Island with my friend, then I'll just go straight to Hard Rock the next morning. And he said, yeah, I'll meet you there.
Okay.
So I hang out with my friend, just chilling, and then come Saturday, woke up to many phone calls.
Right.
I missed it. And my sister called again, and then I picked it up, and then I was like, hey, how's it going? Like, so many people called me this morning. And he said, yeah, we've got some news for you. And I think are you alone or are you with someone? I said, yeah, I'm just with my friends in her room. And then she said, okay, he's no longer here with us. I said, what do you mean he's no longer here with us? I wasn't processing anything because what happened was when my sister called me that morning, his ex-girlfriend was at our house too. So in my mind, I was like, oh, he must be around.
Okay.
So it's like, because my sister said, maybe you want to talk to his girlfriend. I'm like, sure. Then she's like, hey, Najwa, how are you? I said, I'm good. Where is he? That's the only question I asked her. Where is he? And she's like, okay, Najwa, I need you to like, say, no, you're not answering my question. Where is he? And then she kept on asking me to breathe, and it's to a point I raised my voice and I said, where is my best friend? And then she's like, not here anymore. And I just couldn't accept it. I said, no, that's not right. He's on his way to Penang. He told me he's coming to Penang. And then she said, maybe you should talk to your sister. And I said, I was swearing, I was screaming on the phone, and then my sister said, he's no longer here with us. I need you to come home.
Okay.
Mom and Dad is on the way to Penang to pick you up. And I was just like, it was just the worst feeling ever. Because you don't want to tell me where he is. And like nobody wanted to answer my question. Like, where is he? What happened? Because I asked so many questions, but like no one dared to say anything. And it became like anger, sadness, and just full of disappointment in you. Like you just feel like your entire world like fall apart because you've just been talking to him for the entire week. Everything was great. Like he said he's fine, he's looking forward to see you. And when, when my dad like say, just give him a call, but the call just don't get in, and just didn't go through. And I was just like, I was just really, really, really angry because, I think I was just mostly angry because his girlfriend was at my house and he wasn't there. So
Yeah.
I was like, why are you in my house?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and then, so I came home. I didn't get to go to the funeral because, they said they had to put him, they had to get it done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I went and see his mom, his family and everything. Everyone was just, we were grieving. And the next day, like, I saw his girlfriend and she just said, I'm very sorry. And I said, are you? I don't know why I was so angry at her. And I said, I'm sorry if I'm angry. I'm sorry if I'm saying I'm being harsh. And then she said, no. Like, I know it's not easy. And then I was just like, I thought you guys were broken up. And then he said, we did, but we sort of got together and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Didn't think it through. For me, I was just like, I was mostly just questioning myself. And like, when I went to the graveyard to see his tombstone and everything, I was like, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I thought I was your best friend. I thought, like, we promised each other that, we'll live past 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I had so many questions. Even until today, sometimes I'll sit alone, I'll just ask questions like, why didn't he say anything? And then so that whole thing happened. And then a week later, because his mom was like cleaning up his rooms, she gave me a phone call, started crying, and I said, what happened? Are you okay? And I was just like, I'm actually a little bit upset with my son. And I said, why? And she said, how could he have a photo of you, but no pictures of his family members in his wallet? But he has your picture in his wallet, Najwa. And I said, I don't know, Auntie, but I can tell you, he loved you guys very, very much. He loves talking about you. He adores you as a mom. I'm very sorry that my picture is in the wallet. And then she just said this to me, which until today, sometimes if I miss him, I'll just think of what his mom said to me. She said, whatever he went through, I'm just so happy that he carries you with him everywhere. And it's a nice feeling to feel that way, but it's also sad to know that this person also care about you. So like when he left, part of me died the day that he left. And I think that part of me, I don't think you'll ever come back. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm crying.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, Nach. It's real, and take your time, and thank you so much for sharing this such heavy part of your life. And I felt it too through your story, and I wish he could have told you something. Wish he could have said something, mustered up everything that he had. He could have said something, or at least just answered that phone call, right?
Yeah. Just one phone call would be great.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Nach. You all right? You okay?
Yeah. I'm okay. Just trying to like process it and like come back. Yeah.
Thank you, Nach. Thank you so much for being very honest and being very open and sharing with the rest of us this part of your life. It's not easy, and I really appreciate you for being this open. It's I see you as this beautiful person, and for letting the rest of us to also hear your story. Thank you so much for sharing. And let's say if someone is listening right now and is also being everyone's rock and secretly falling apart, what do you want them to hear?
I want them to know that they're not alone, and there will always be someone, although they don't tell you that they're there for you, they are there for you. Maybe it's not by telling you that, hey, I'm here for you at this point. Sometimes it's the simple gesture, as simple as like, here's a cup of coffee for you.
Yeah.
And, you feel better, although in a short brief of time, I would say, in a brief time. But someone is always there for you. And you just have to, whatever you're going through, just go right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful way to put it, Naj. That's really beautiful. And yes, and also I think purposely I didn't want to give any solution to any listeners. I just want them to listen the story to as it is and let them to discover a way for themselves, because not everyone's method would work for you, but listening how a person is going through that would be like a guidance for you. And also I hope that the rest of them out there, if you have friends or if you have not been talking to this one person for the longest of time, just call and give them a call and ask, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? How's life? How's your day going? Just a simple question like that will make someone stay, like what Naj had said earlier. All right, Naj, thank you so much for showing up and being honest about this. And I think,
don't worry.
I think a lot of people are going to hear this, and I hope they will feel little less alone. And also what you have also shared with us. So what is it about being human? And you said that it's okay to fail and grieve the failure. And I agree with you on that 100%. And honestly, I think this is something we all need to write on a sticky note somewhere. So you get to remind yourself it's okay to feel and grieve the failure. Thank you so much for being here today, Naj. And thank you for sharing.
For having me. I had a great time talking to you. It's like, having coffee with a friend, and it's like you just talk for hours.
Oh my God. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And one day when you're in KL, or if I'm coming to Terengganu, I'll definitely will follow you, okay?
Yes, you know where to find me.
Yes, I definitely will buzz you. All right, everybody. So that's a wrap on this one. I'll see you in the next episode of Society's Crew. Until then, be kind to yourself and take care of each other. And don't forget to check on your strong friends. And bye-bye for now, everybody.